Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Wednesday or Thursday from some of you, like Blue Horse there in Singapore. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Did you get shaken out? Does this volatility in the crypto market get you scared? It shouldn't. We've been talking for so long about pullbacks, and I mean, this is crypto, right? It's crypto investing. And it's going to be volatile. And sometimes when Doge is doing nothing, you guys are like, Doge is so boring. And then when we get big movement, you're like, Doge is dropping. It's going to zero. It's dead. No. Don't get shaken out and buy on the dips. And let's wait and let's see what happens, because we don't know. We don't know where this whole thing is going and when it's going. But I know people get frustrated, and people may sell early and just, again, is this really going to happen? Are we going to have Elon doing something with Doge? I think so, which is why I'm still here. If I didn't think anything was going to happen with Doge, I wouldn't be invested in it. But I am. And so we wait. And I know it's hard. It's like, but here we are in June. I mean, we're just in June. And we got a ways to go. So we'll see where it goes. And we'll talk about the 4-year cycles. We'll talk about the latest news. We'll talk about FOMC that we had today. Jerome Powell spoke. Like I thought, right? Exactly what I said is like, there's not going to go change in interest rates. Not going to happen. September at the earliest, maybe. Not going to happen. And then next month, another FOMC is going to come around. Nothing's going to happen. And people get all freaked out about it. But some traders make money. I mean, Tom Crown predicted exactly what Bitcoin was going to do. over about an hour, and it hit it exactly. So that happens. But yeah, we're here, and someone put it in the comment, like, when Bitcoin goes down, Doge goes down more, but when Bitcoin goes up, Dogecoin doesn't do anything. Well, today, Bitcoin is up 1%, Doge is up 5%. Doge is actually outperforming Bitcoin today. So you never know. You never know. Doge was up higher earlier. It hit 15 cents here earlier this afternoon. But then FOMC hit, which of course brought Bitcoin way down. I mean, look at the Bitcoin drop we had. Because Jerome Powell didn't say what people wanted him to say. But I wasn't expecting anything different. But these things happen, and you just got to let those things go. So, yeah, a lot more volatility in Bitcoin happening. Don't get shaken out. Don't get shaken out. Again, this is a 15-minute chart. So what do? We zoom out. It's nothing. See, it's nothing. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin. And what looked like this giant, like, up and down was nothing. It's just nothing. Sideways is all we are. But yeah, you zoom in and you're like, oh, look at this huge run up and then dump. No, that isn't, it's not a dump. It's nothing. It's nothing on the daily chart. So, and then what does Dogecoin's daily chart look like? Yeah, I mean, we had this purple, like, triangle happening. Doge broke down below it. And we did have yesterday Doge around 13.5 cents. Nice little buying opportunity right there on that dip, right? So now we have potentially this new triangle coming all the way back to 12-cent Dogecoin here on the 1st of May. And so that's going right to the end of the month. So are we just going to kind of wallow in like around 14.5 cents until the end of the month? We could. We'll watch that. But again, don't get shaken out, because we're still early in all of this. Some of you might complain, well, Doge hasn't done as well as other coins. But when Doge does eventually go on its big run, it will outperform everything. That's how Doge works. And I know it's tough being patient sometimes, but that's how Doge works. In my humble opinion. So that's what we got for starting. Let me drop down here in the corner, see what's going on in the chat, and then we will get to the news of the day. And of course, we've got the Magic 8 Ball. So we will be asking question Magic 8 Ball. And then we also have Coinfessions here. And we will we'll have a little story time, right? A little story time that we're going to add to each stream. Just telling a story. Something going on, something that happened to someone else. Got a good response to part of my video from yesterday, where I went through this woman's story about how she made a bunch of money in Doge and then just spent almost all of it. And what she spent it on: lost her apartment, lost her friends, moved back home. It's like, ah. So, cautionary tales. Yeah, story time with Kriss, Mars. We'll get to that. Yeah, we will get to that. Shaky Neil says, Mars is eating Doge dips like Pac-Man. Joe's got the diamond hands. Good morning to Blue Horse over in Singapore. Hope you're having a nice coffee or tea. I'm drinking a beer here because it's still Wednesday evening, late afternoon here in Boston. Cheers, everyone. Edmund, I only shake martinis, not my Doge. Not bad. Not bad. Pat, I'm not the one who's saying Doge is going to $10 or $2. I do show on the charts, or I do show in the news, other people talking about it. But Kriss has never made a prediction of $10 Doge. So I've never said that, right? I said getting to $1 is even going to be tough because of all the selling pressure that's going to be there. It's going to be tough. Could Doge actually make $2? And what would that look like? We did take a look at that, what the market cap would be. And I said, that makes sense to me, but will it actually trade there? So don't put words in my mouth because I didn't say that. Ryan, not shaken out. It's Kriss time, yes. DCA, good strategy for people to follow. DCA. We're still in early bull market. Again, in the 4-year cycles, the top of the market, if following the 4-year cycles, wouldn't be till 2025. So DCAing, not a bad strategy still. There's going to be some point in time, though, where buying more crypto may not be the best thing because you're going to have all of the other FOMOers coming in buying the crypto. But we don't know when that is yet. Teodoro, the election is coming. Biden can't afford a bomb on the economy September for sure. Yeah, and I don't know why some are saying no rate cuts before the election. That's what Tom Crown was saying today. He was like, I don't think there's going to be one before the election. But I think Teodoro's got it right. I think there's going to be political pressure on the Fed. I mean, we already saw it. Elizabeth Warren already wrote that letter the other day to Chair Powell. And of course, he's not going to respond directly to that. But there will be a lot of political pressure. If something doesn't happen in July, then I think they skip August and the next one is September. And that's why I'm saying September. And I've been saying September for the last few months. I think it was since January, February, when I finally realized June wasn't going to happen. And then I changed it to September. So that's been my prediction for the first rate cut here in the United States. Is going to be September. And I'm sticking with that. Neil says we need a green God candle. And I think that's going to come, but don't hold your breath right now. Not happening now. I mean, Astro on X Twitter seems to think next week should be some big announcement about X payments. And I'm like, no. Elon said last December he wants to get all of the money transmitter licenses in all 50 states before he rolls out X payments. He thought he would have it by the middle of the summer. Technically, it's not even summer yet. That's what the 20th or 21st of June summer starts. So we got a ways to go, but people just hear what they want to hear. But you go back to the exact quote, what he said. And then, of course, Elon isn't always the best in following through on his schedules. Things just always seem to take longer than he said. And I've been saying that. We know that that's built in because that's Elon. I make my own decisions, but your conviction in Doge is enough to get me going. I just tell what's going on a daily basis. And again, just looking at the overall picture of crypto and where Doge fits into that overall picture is what I show. We look at other coins too. I mean, Jasmine again has been holding up very well since its big run it had last month, and that's still looking pretty good. And we'll look at some others as well. Manipulation by the SEC, Joe says. I don't know if the SEC is so involved in manipulating like that. Don't think Powell will do anything till November, so it doesn't look like election interference. Again, it's politics. I don't think it matters. I think we'll see something in September. I'm sticking with that. Yeah, we'll get to story time. What a good feeling to finally see some green. Yes. I mean, Doge is up almost 6%, right, as of now. Overall on crypto bubbles, Injective is kind of the big leader right now that we have here at 16% is Injective. Doge up 6%, Render up 9%, Floki's did a big dump, down 9%. But Bonk, Whiff, Jasmine, Sheeb, Pepe, all of those that we follow. Decent comeback from yesterday's dump. You can always remember, and what I always do is zoom back out. Let's look at the 2-hour chart, and we're like, yeah, we had that big dump right there last Friday, and then yesterday dumped even more. So if that didn't shake you out, well, a lot of people might have gotten shaken out last Friday with that dump. But this one, yeah. So we got a ways to go to recover back up from where we were here at the end of last week. And that's up over 16 cents. But we couldn't even hold 15 today. We tried and we just couldn't hold it. So need to get above 15 first, recheck that as support before moving up higher. And we'll take a look at that. Yeah, the woman made a lot of money and lost it. I think she was just immature, had all this money, had never had that kind of money before, and just blew right through it. Greg, again, a max prediction will all be tied to what's the story? What's the story with Dogecoin? Is it fully integrated onto X payments or not? If it's fully integrated onto X payments, then we're in the dollars. But if Elon kind of uses it for one thing, but it's not really the whole thing, it'd be tough to get over $1. So it all depends, again, on what is the story, what is the catalyst that's going to send Doge up, because we know it's not going to go crazy on hype again. That was 2021. That was the narrative in 2021, all the hype. The hype isn't going to make Doge go on a run like that again. I don't think so. We need something actually to happen. What's up, Mark? There were people who never thought Doge would make it to a penny. That's right. That's right. Not too long ago, early 2020, you could have bought Doge for under half a penny still. And that was just 4 years ago. That was just 4 years ago. You could have bought Doge for less than half a penny. Hey, Jason, how are you? I don't, Francisco. I don't see a big pump in Doge before the end of the month. I really don't. We're talking about this on Monday. It's just like the summer months just tend to not see huge pumps. There can be dumps because of bad news, but there's normally not that huge piece of good news that's going to send something flying. I mean, if something comes out about X payments and someone starts talking about a timeline or anything involved with that, that could help Dogecoin. But overall, Dogecoin reaching $1, it's like 10 cents in 2021. Once it reached 10 cents, it went crazy. It would shock the world, that's for sure. But before that happens, I think we're going to see Bitcoin hit 100K. And when Bitcoin hits $100,000, that's going to be huge. It's going to be all over the news. And we're going to see, most likely, crypto is going to respond very well to that. And we're going to see the whole market move up. And then you're going to see people coming into the crypto market for the first time. There's going to be a lot of new users. But again, I'm not predicting that this summer. That's going to be the fall, most likely. I know, it's ridiculous. $24 for Doge. Ridiculous. Yeah, people talked about Amazon a couple of years. Amazon doesn't need crypto. They're doing just fine like they are. They don't need crypto. There was this big thing about Amazon was going to make their own cryptocurrency, and I don't know. It's just not. They don't need it. Now, if crypto becomes mainstream, then maybe they would add it, but right now, yeah, they don't need it. Inflation in the 70s versus now. Yeah, I was a kid then. And the problem in the 70s wasn't really, it wasn't the same problem, if I remember, versus what we're experiencing now. Because things were still affordable then with inflation then. And now we're at a point where the wages haven't kept up. Back then, I think the wages were keeping up. We were seeing scarcity in items like the gas shortages and things like that. You can look that up from the 70s. There were these huge gas shortages. I remember being in this long line of cars at a gas station, waiting for it to open. And then you could only buy like so much gas. And it was only, and then the station was only open for like so many hours. And then they had to stop. We were living with stuff like that. That was crazy. Yeah, the real estate mortgage rates were high, but the houses didn't cost as much. It wasn't this big. It wasn't as large a part of your take-home salary as today's mortgages are on average. So even though you had these 12% mortgages, they weren't borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now I know it's, with escalation, since then it's not the same, but it wasn't the same percentage on average of one's overall salary being spent on mortgage or rent as we see today. So that's kind of the main difference, I think. You haven't bought any Jasmine? Brett is a meme. Brett could go up 10x, or it could have already seen its high and it'll just dump from here. Jasmine actually has a utility. That's the difference. I don't know what Toshi is, but I'm only buying things that have some have some use and have some utility. I'm not just buying a meme because price might go up for no reason. It doesn't do anything. But that's just me. You added another 2,800 Doge. Nice. Instead of being frightened by major market drops, you should celebrate them. Well, Dennis, certainly celebrating them if you're buying on the dips and you're able to accumulate more Doge or other cryptos on the dips, then yes, celebrate them. But if you're just holding and you're waiting to maximize your profit, but you're not buying anymore, you don't want to see drops. You just want it to keep going up. Yeah, that's what we were saying on Monday. The Doge chart is not a good looking chart, and it still isn't. It's still not a good looking chart. Hey, Wei, how are you? Not in Florida now. I was in Florida in April. I'm back in Boston, Massachusetts, which is my home. I do travel a lot down to Florida. I have a lot of friends down there. I went to school down there. So go down there as often as I can. I'll be back down in Florida in September, but not there now. Rodrigo, how are you? Can you explain who to read Robinhood Tax Form 1099B front page? Thanks. Your 1099 you get from Robinhood should show your purchases and your sales and your profits and losses. And then you use that to do your, whatever the schedule is, Schedule D form for your 1040s. And that's your investment income. See a tax attorney if you don't understand it. That's the best I can tell you. Yeah, let's hurry up and just fast forward, right? So we're in the bull market. Exactly. All this waiting, right? This is getting boring, this waiting. Pat's a bear. 7-cent Doge. I don't see that happening. But then you know that because I've already said that before. Subway out of Doge and into GME. Well, good luck. I've got some GME, but it's a big battle. This is the GME chart here for today. And GME was up to $33 today, so it was up over 10%. And then this afternoon, it just dumped. Market maker, shorters, pushing it down all the way back down to $25. So the day down 16% from where it started beginning of the day. But intraday, that's almost like a 25% drop from where it was at its high here, right around noontime. FOMC didn't help, but was already being pushed down. Yeah, tough day for GME trading. But if you're able to buy on a dip, get in here at $24, $25, that might not be so bad if you think over the next week GME is going to do what Roaring Kitty is setting this thing up to actually do with his huge call options that he's got. So I've got a small bag of GME stock just to ride along and to help the cause and see if this short squeeze really happens. But selling all your Doge to gamble on GameStop? But good luck. I mean, just buying crypto is risky, right? So GameStop stock is risky as well. And if you have the frame of mind and attitude of you don't win unless you take risks, then that might not be a bad risk to take. So Yep. But yeah, you've got the hedge funds, you've got the market makers battling against GameStop going up. And it's going to continue to be a tough battle. Tough battle ahead. And then down to 6 cents. Wow, you're getting more bearish as time goes on, Pat. Well, good luck with that, because I don't see that happening. Dogecoin's going to lose half of its value? No, Doge is going to go up from here. It's not going to lose half its value. Another bear in the house. Murdon thinks BTC is going down to 62K. So we just saw this dip here on Tuesday to 66. 66K is that point right there. And that is the local support, 66K. Zoom out a little bit and we can go back to May 1st at 57K. But right now, Bitcoin's chart isn't looking like it's going to drop back down there. Bitcoin's showing too much support for that. Much better chart than Doge. But again, Doge does tend to follow Bitcoin a lot. So we'll see that. Doge is your vehicle to home ownership. Let's see what happens. We've dipped here before, so you're good on buying now. Am I the only crazy one who thinks Doge will be the currency of Mars? Mars is so far out in the future. I'm not even thinking about that. There's a bunch of people on crypto Twitter that talk about that, but it's just like so out there. The same people saying economy's terrible, people saying minimum wages, raise the minimum wage, close all business. Yep. It's the same battle. But today what's happening is, like in California, we had that minimum wage just on restaurants, and what ended up happening? The restaurant owners just got rid of employees so that the employees that they keep and pay more are just going to have to work that much harder. That's what ended up happening. Every drop is an opportunity to DCA. At these prices, Dogecoin is a gift. You're over 1.2 million in Doge. Nice. I didn't know you were a million Doge holder. Awesome, Blue Horse. Dogecoin is a huge upside than GameStop. $50,000 is too much risk. Low roller thinks. You know, but if over the next week, let's say week and a half, if GameStop doubles, and then you sell that, you take that profit, and then you roll it back into Doge, which could still be right around 14 cents a week and a half from now. You roll it back into Doge, and you have almost twice as much Doge on that move. There's a potential for something like that actually happening. If you wanted to play that game. Is that really going to be in a week and a half, though? From what I understand about the call options, once he exercises those options, the big short squeeze could come after that and could be something that rolls out over a period of a week or two, not immediately next Friday when those call options are due. So that is, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Again, I've never done options trading before, but that's my understanding of those call options, is that then the market makers need to go buy a bunch of GameStop stock in order to essentially pay off, Roaring Kitty. We'll see how that plays out. We will see. Do you think we're following the 2017 bull run? Yeah, Monkey. I think we're more closely following the 2016, 2017 movement in Bitcoin than 2020 and 2021. I'm seeing that. And that's the chart that I showed the other day in my video, was the 2016, 2017 rise with those big pullbacks of 30% pullbacks. I think we're seeing that type of movement, but just not as volatile. The volatility is like cut in half. So yeah, and Bitcoin's not going to tank down even below 50K. So Dogecoin's not going to drop that much. Yeah, Samuels, I saw your note, and I'm going to start, even on live streams, I'm going to be telling little stories too. And I've got one for today, all lined up. As I find them, I'll talk about them. But yeah, thanks for the idea. And the housing market, I mean, everything is so overpriced right now in housing. And the housing prices have not come down for the most part, and may not come down at all. So yeah, we're going to be buying into real estate with real estate prices pretty high still. Roaring Kitty is closing out some of his calls. 25,000 $20 calls before the stock market closed today. I doubt that's Roaring Kitty. I think there have been a lot of people who have created call options to mimic what Roaring Kitty did, but I don't see him taking those options now. But that's my opinion. We'll see what he says. He'll let us know. Does Exodus have a tax form? No. You have to keep track of everything. Once you move into Exodus or Ledger or any independent wallet, the exchanges don't know what you've done with that crypto. The exchanges are the only ones who are going to give you 1099 forms. The wallets will not. So you got to keep track of your own crypto. Where you bought it, when you bought it, what your price was. And then if you move it, you got to track it so you know which crypto is which. That's on you. And I've shown you all that from my spreadsheets. That's what you got to do. Maybe throw $50 to $100 at call options. You can try it. That's how you learn, right? Yep. Yeah, I heard that. Joey Chestnut is the guy's name. The world hot dog eating champion. And he signed a deal with some non-meat company, like Beyond Meat or something, that's doing Beyond Meat, like vegan hot dogs. And so Nathan said, "You're not competing with us now because you're signed up to support those other guys." Oh, well. If we're following the 2016, 2017 cycle, then price movements for Doge should be good. Again, that's Bitcoin, and Doge will generally follow Bitcoin. Doge, again, needs its own catalyst. It needs its own big piece of news to make it really go high, I think. It's not going to be on hype. Well, it would actually reach the December of 2025. It would be the end of the year if it followed that. That wasn't really a super cycle because it was still the 4-year cycle. In 2018, everything dumped. It all dumped. Here's the Bitcoin chart that you can see here. And you can see Bitcoin's all-time high was December of 2017. In the beginning of 2018, let me get your note out of the way. In the beginning of 2018, it just dumped. So this is what the year 2017 looked like. It was right up to December, right to the end of the year. And then Bitcoin hit $20,000. And then it just dumped in January. What did Dogecoins look like then? I don't know when Doge actually hit its high that cycle, but we'll take a look. We'll take a look because we can do this very quickly here in CoinMarketCap. So that high was hit in, you are right, sir, January, the first week of January of 2018. Doge hit 1.7 cents right there, first week of January, and then it dumped. By the second week of January, it was down to 0.007. By February 8th, it was back down to 0.004. That's a huge dump. That's a huge dump. So yeah, I'd be selling in December. I'd be selling in December. That is a huge dump. Let me just get this set back up. 14.5 cents still for Doge. Is Doge going to go up these next couple of hours? Probably not. Probably not. I think we're going to be sideways. Yep. You've been buying Doge every payday. That is a good strategy. Yeah, it looks like it. 2017, end of 2017, in that first week of January 2018, according to that chart we just looked at. That was it. All right, let's get into the news. And we still have Magic 8 Ball coming, and we have our story time all coming. So let's start. Bitcoin, Ethereum prices dip as Fed signals one rate cut ahead in 2024, and that's it. So they previously had signaled there would be 2 rate cuts, and now kind of the interpretation of what Powell said is 1 rate cut for 2024. And that's probably why Tom Crown said it'll probably be November and not September. If there's only 1, it'll probably be later in the year. But we'll see. But the markets didn't like it. So we had dips. We had dips in Bitcoin, dips in ETH, dips in Doge. Everything just about dipped. So that was based on that. So we start with that. Now, Dogecoin. We hit a 40-day low the other day. 40-day low. So that was back to May 1st when we had the 12-cent Doge. Again, I don't think we're going to revisit 12 cents. So seeing Doge hit this low here, like we had yesterday, down to 13.5 cents, I think that's I mean, that could be the June low right there at 13.5 cents. Because there's really no big news events the rest of the week. We had the hype before the FOMC. That's that green candle. Then we had the dump during FOMC. That's the red candle. And now we have this green candle coming back up, which is sort of resettling. So we're going to resettle right around between 14.5 and 15 cents. That looks like what Doge is doing right now. Following that. Dogecoin pumps 8%. This was earlier today. Its next move could be huge, and sure, but that's probably not its next move. Again, Dogecoin is only going to have a huge move if there is a piece of news out there that is specifically related to Dogecoin, I think. And it's not just going to go on its own on hype. I think again, that was the last cycle. That's what Doge did. And I don't see it this cycle. But we'll talk about what Kev is looking at. But this is trader tardigrade, and I showed this chart before. And he says Doge following parallel channels. Since Doge has left the lower support line of the current channel, next move could be huge. And again, he's comparing it to what happened in 2021. But in the 4-year cycles, that wouldn't happen until 2025. So we're still too early for this huge move, I think, at this point. So I think this can happen, but you got to pull it over to the right. This is too soon. And again, this fall is when I'm predicting we're going to see big runs in altcoins, the true alt season, and a run on Doge as well. And we just have to wait. And I've been saying that for 6 months. I've been on that bandwagon that like it's not going to happen till the fall. That's what everything's looking like to me. And so we wait. So we've got that bit of news. Into the block data, noticed a 20% increase in large transaction volume, 8% increase in daily active addresses. So all of the data, again, that Into the Block puts out there is still showing big accumulation in Dogecoin, but that doesn't stop the sell-offs that happen when there's bad news. So that data is balanced somehow with the sell-offs. And that's what we see. Major indicator turned super bullish on Dogecoin for the first time since 2020. And what is that? What is that? This is Kev Capital. So here's Kev Capital's chart. This is one of the charts. He's saying if we take a look at Dogecoin on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we've seen a deviation back into this large symmetrical triangle. He's showing that it dipped below it. I've remade it to bring in that point. Getting back above key moving averages will be key. Lots of liquidity at 17.5 cents. I think it's possible we test that area at some point in time. But that means getting back above, through that whole 16-cent zone too. And we're a long way from that right now. So again, this is all going to be delayed and it's just going to take a while. And I mean, that's the theme, right? It's just, we have to be patient through the summer. It's just going to take a while, in my opinion, to get through all of that. So and then we have Ali Martinez, who's always bullish and positive. And I just I don't see that yet happening. So we just have to wait. Just have to wait on that. There was this big news about Donald Trump meeting the heads of the top Bitcoin mining companies and basically saying the United States should be supporting Bitcoin mining and having that technology of essentially what Bitcoin is here in the United States. And I know some of you are not in the United States, but for you that are in the United States, it's like what Biden is doing versus Trump. Biden's pushing away that developing technology in crypto and blockchain, is pushing it away. And Trump is like, no. We should be doing that here in the United States. We should be supporting it. So that's a big deal, in my opinion. And this whole like MAGA meme coin and all of that. If you want to play those games and following these political related meme tokens, good luck. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to do all of that. A lot of people buying. We'll see how that goes. But we do have Sistine Research, who said that Trump's newfound support for Bitcoin mining in the United States is huge. Trump suggested Bitcoin mining in the US will help the nation become energy dominant. And then went on, and additionally earlier in the week had pointed out what we had talked about on Monday with this Arthur Hayes and Raul Paul interview with Coin Bureau. Could there be a Dogecoin ETF? And what's going to happen with GameStop? GameStop has this $4 billion in cash reserves now. I tweeted out on Monday that they should just buy Bitcoin, right? And become a gaming / technology company. And that would be huge if they did that. What are they going to do with that money? Now, they say in some filing that they're going to do it for some buyouts of some other companies, most likely. We'll see how that plays out. But can you imagine if they did invest in Bitcoin and became like MicroStrategy, and GameStop actually invested in Bitcoin and then at the same time got more into like online gaming and not like the brick and mortar game stores like they have now. And that would be huge for that company. And the stock price, of course, would be something completely different. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. 5 prime XRP rivals with peak potential for 10x profit by July. Well, not July, because I don't think that's happening. Solana is already above XRP in the top cryptos. So, Solana is 5th, XRP is 7th. So we're really talking about these that are below XRP and which ones have the chance to overtake XRP. And the one that's closest is Dogecoin. Dogecoin is at 21 billion. XRP is at 27 billion. I can't wait for the day Dogecoin overtakes XRP. I can't wait for that day. Not a fan of XRP. And they're like 49 cents. For the year, they're down. And we still have this Kriss DCA portfolio that has everything in the green except the XRP we bought last summer. We're down 15% now on that XRP. Luckily, we only bought 1,200 XRP. It only has a value of $600. So we didn't put a lot in there, but it's just like, it's a reminder in the portfolio, like XRP. Ridiculous. I do not own any XRP in my personal portfolio, and I'm glad of it. I'm glad I didn't buy any of that. Overall, the Kriss portfolio is still up 160%, despite the big dump that we had last Friday and then yesterday. We're still up. So this portfolio is still looking very good. Jasmine at 3.6 cents now is still up 900% from when we bought it last summer. So yeah, still a great looking portfolio. For those that are new and don't know what that portfolio is, this is when we were buying altcoins at the bottom of the bear market last summer, and we were doing it live on stream. We were buying these mostly Doge. Doge is 42% of the overall portfolio now. Jasmine's 17%. But we bought some Bitcoin, some Render, some ETH, some SHIB, some Algorand, and we're up on all of those. But the idea of this, I put $10,000 in here, and I bought $10,000 worth of crypto, of actual crypto, not a fake portfolio like what George has, but a real crypto. And I'm going to be at the top of the bull market. I'm going to be giving out Dogecoin to you guys. I'm giving you Dogecoin, the 75,000 Dogecoin, minus a little bit for what I need to cover the tax on these others, but will not selling that Doge, going to be giving it to you guys. So all you have to do is join the channel and you will be getting Dogecoin from me. But that's at the top of the bull market, and we are not there yet. So it's not time to be giving up this Dogecoin yet. But I'll be giving it out. If you're interested about joining the channel, just go to my Kriss YouTube channel, and you can see this thing about our members. And over on the side here, there's a button where you can join, and you get a check mark next to your name. Your name is in green in the chat. And you get to use all these fun emojis in the chat, which are specific to the Kriss channel. And then you'll also be getting Dogecoin from me at the top of the bull market. So that's how that works. So if you're interested in, let me know, ask some questions. Be glad to talk about it more. But this is the Kriss DCA portfolio, because we were actually DCAing last summer. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we were buying crypto live on the live streams. This is how that worked. We're up quite a bit, but we got a long ways to go. Long ways to go still. For that. All right. Elon Musk might own 20% of Dogecoin supply, says Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson. And he knows better. And this was the stupidest thing for him to say, because he knows that that's Robinhood who owns that and not Elon Musk. He's just saying it because he's trying to get Elon Musk's attention, because he wants Elon to recognize Cardano. And he says here at the bottom of this article, I even know Kimball Musk, and I've talked to him on several occasions. And I know many people in Elon's orbit, and never once has he mentioned Cardano or me or anything. For some reason, we can't break through. I don't know why. He's certainly aware of crypto. Maybe he's got people in his social circle that don't like me. That's what Charles says. No, Charles, you're wrong. It's just Elon doesn't care. He doesn't care about any other cryptocurrency besides Bitcoin and Dogecoin. That's all he cares about. Everything else outside of that, he doesn't care. It's not on his radar. It has nothing to do with you personally, and there's no one on his team that hates you. He just doesn't care. Yes, he's begging, Jason. Absolutely. It's just like, come on, Charles. It's like, Charles is just going around the world just begging people to use his precious Cardano. And nobody cares. Nobody really cares. I guess he finally made some kind of deal in some country in South America. Might have been Argentina. I don't remember. I just saw something on the news the other week. It's like, okay, Charles, you got something. Just nobody cares about Cardano right now. In this other article here, Cardano dominating social media discussions. No, it isn't. It's not. Nobody cares about Cardano. I own a bunch of ADA tokens, and I would like to make money on it, but it's just not happening right now. So I thought that was funny, though, because, yes, Elon Musk said he owns some Dogecoin, but it was bought for his son in that big, huge wallet that Charles is referring to here. We know that's Robinhood. Robinhood owns that Dogecoin on behalf of you guys and me as well, who bought Doge on Robinhood. And it's sitting in that big wallet there. That's our Dogecoin. That's not Robinhood's Dogecoin. And it's certainly not Elon Musk's Dogecoin. Just another attempt for Charles to get some attention here. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay, that's the Doge news. I've got other little bits and pieces of news, but we will not get to that yet. We do want to do story hour. So for Samuels, who gave the idea, story hour. So today we're going to go to Coinfessions on X, and here's today's story. I've lost over $50,000 trading just from selling things too early. I've been in the space since 2021. I'm addicted to the charts, but I've been rugged so many times that I can't bring myself to diamond hand anything. I've gotten into all the big runners at the bottom, sold them all before they hit big because I keep chasing the next big one. Maybe trading isn't for me. And that's the story of trading versus investing, right? So I think most of us here are investing. And when you're investing, that also means that you're holding. So you're buying and you're holding and you're waiting. Some are waiting for the top of this cycle. Some are going to wait for cycles in the future. You're accumulating now because crypto potentially is going to be worth so much more 8 years from now, 12 years from now. So you're buying now and you're holding. And when we look back at crypto, and people, and you can even see a lot of these comments on Quora and on Reddit that people were making back in 2013 and 2014. It's like, whoa, I sold like my Bitcoin for $800, sold at the top. And here we are, and Bitcoin is like over $60,000 now. And it's like, dude. But back then, who knew what Bitcoin was going to do, right? Who knew that it would be over $1,000? It would get to $10,000. It would get to $20,000. But now, here we are, over 10 years in with Doge, more for Bitcoin. And there seems to be this pattern. There seems to be this understanding that Bitcoin is going to continue to become more scarce. Crypto is going to be more adopted. Blockchain technology is going to continue to evolve and get adopted. That we're all still early. So if you want to do trading and try and make money off this token, that token, and you're jumping from token to token to token, trading, FOMOing in, whatever, you might be able to hit one, but you'll probably miss the next two or three. and you'll end up like this guy. Eventually, you could lose it all. So, investing versus trading, we're basically here talking about investing. And I know, and I see comments of people saying that they made, 20x on this, 50x on that. And I'm like, just be sure to take your profits and then roll them into something stable. Once you make a big profit like that, like if you make a 50x or 100x on some token, take that and just put it into Bitcoin. Don't go chasing the next token, particularly if it's already gone on a big run, because it could drop. And we've seen time and time again, people who've made money on one and then they lose half or all on the next one. So be careful out there. That's all. That's story time for today. Hope you enjoyed that one. We'll have one every live stream of just something to talk about. 50K ain't nothing. Well, for some people, it ain't nothing. But for other people, that's a lot of money. So everybody has a different financial situation. Is it too late to buy Oasis? So we were talking about the Rose token on Monday. I bought in a year ago, and my average is like down to like 5 or 6 cents. But if we zoom back, yeah, here's my 6 cent average right here. That's my average. I mean, it was already here early March up at 18 cents. So buying at 12 cents isn't necessarily bad. You're not at the top. I mean, certainly last month, you could have gotten it sub 10 cent, 9 or 10 cent. But again, this is probably going to go on a big run. If we go back on the weekly, we can see that, my sell target here is 35 cents. Same with Doge, it's beginning to layer out of Doge, but that's my sell target is 35 cents. So if you can get 12 cents, you can get 3x to 36. And that's a pretty good return. Now, if you want a 10x and you want to do something like that, again, at this point in time, we're already into the bull market. So you're not going to be buying anything at its lowest price. That's what we were doing last summer with that Kriss DCA portfolio. We were buying at the bottom. We were buying Jasmy at 0.0036, right? We were buying Doge at 5.8 cents. But you can't get those prices now. So, but a lot of people didn't have the money then. You've got the money now. So you're thinking, okay, I've got this money now. What am I going to buy? And I think you just have to be a little more realistic with your expected returns. Most cryptos are not going to meet, the alts are not going to meet their 2021 highs. Again, I'll repeat that, because you're not hearing this from George or others. Most crypto altcoins are not going to reach their 2021 highs. It was a crazy time with those altcoins in 2021. Also, many of the alts have today so many more tokens in circulation than they had back in 2021. So their market cap would have to be that much higher based on whatever their tokenization was, how many more unlocks they had, how many more minting they had of tokens from 2021. So to look at that, you would have to go back into 2021, let's say for the Rose token here, the Oasis project, and you'll have to look up and see if you can find how many tokens were in circulation back here when it was at this price. And let's say there's twice as many tokens that are in circulation today as there were back in 2021. Then you might only expect just to be even half the price. So instead of it reaching 50 cents, it might only reach 25, something like that. So again, have some realistic expectations. But yeah, you're not going to be able to buy Rose tokens for less than 6 cents now. The price is 12 cents. And just like we were talking with Dogecoin, we had this drop over here to 13.5 cents. That might be the last time you could buy Doge for 13.5 cents. That could be. We're at 14.5, we get up over 15, and we set a new solid support at 15 cents. Then Doge could go through the summer 15, 16, 17 cents, but won't revisit 13 again. That could happen. So we'll see how that plays out. Joe bought some render last summer. Pretty good purchase, wasn't it? Pretty good purchase. Well, thank you, Joe, for promoting the check mark. Appreciate it. Hold. When you look back from your nursing home, you will be pleased. You might not have to wait that long. People sold Bitcoin early. Back then, people didn't know what Bitcoin was and what it could be. It was so new. I think there's a better understanding now and a little more awareness than back then. You're going to be on the beach? Me too. People do the same thing in the stock market, right? They go chasing stocks that have a chance to 100x. Good luck. Good luck. I own Tesla, I own Apple, and I own now GameStop because I got rid of the AMC, and I still own a little bit of Gevo and I think Xpeng, that Chinese EV. I still have some of that stock. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else is in crypto. Yeah, BTC is the only thing worth holding for long term. And I would argue that Doge might also be in that category. At the end of this bull market, those are the only two that I'm going to continue to hold. It's going to be Bitcoin and Doge. I'm going to sell everything else because I want to do something else with that money. But for crypto, I'll continue to hold Bitcoin and Doge, and we'll see about Ethereum. I mean, I've got a good chunk of Ethereum, but if I want to buy a better piece of real estate, I'll probably sell my ETH as well. We'll just see. We'll just see where that is. People in 2017, altcoin reach all-time high. Then 2021, I know. I don't know if we're going to see 2021's highs in most altcoins. I think XRP had that big run in 2017, and 2021 it didn't go that high. But then there were a lot less XRP tokens back then than there are now. And they just keep minting more. Mint, mint, mint. Been trading Dogecoin for 3+ years. I'm in profit, but I still get doubt in the pullbacks. Just got to hold. 10 to 20% retracement isn't bad after the good run we've had. That's true. Learn the hard way. Lost a lot in the beginning, and that's That's true. I've made a few poor choices. A lot of it had to do with when I was making money, though, because my YouTube channel back in 2021 was making good money. And so I was buying crypto then, and I shouldn't have, because that was during the bull market. Oh, well. Penny stocks or new meme coins? Yeah, neither. Neither is the answer. Stock market, no thanks. Been there, done that. Crypto, we're so early. Just look at the technology in crypto and buy those. Where is the AI? Where is the blockchain? Along with, Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge. Hey, Dogecoin has been around since 2013. So I know. So have both. Have both Bitcoin and Dogecoin. I will be taking some Dogecoin profits this bull market, though. I'm not going to keep my big bag of Doge through another bear market. So XLM versus XRP. I would low roller, but I really don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm not interested in either one of those. So yeah, we're not going to do that. Sorry. Hit the like button, everyone. Thank you, Yili. Hit the like button. We've got our Magic 8 Ball. We're going to be doing that. Anybody want to ask the Magic 8 Ball the question of the day? Let me know in the chat. What do we ask the Magic 8 Ball today? What do we ask the Magic 8 Ball? You're buying what I'm buying next cycle? Well, I will still be doing videos, so I will be doing videos still. And I will let you know what I'm buying when I buy, but it won't be in 2026. Maybe by the end of 2026, but we'll see. We got to see how the bear market plays out. Is it going to be a true bear market like we saw, in 2022, and like we saw in 2018, or with all of these ETFs and Bitcoin, are we going to see sort of a leveling out? I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But I'm not holding all the way through that. Yeah, I'm not, my YOLO money, so to speak, is in GameStop. That's where it is. It's in GameStop. So it's not a penny stock. Although I was thinking, okay, if GameStop goes up a lot over the next 2 weeks, then what do I pull that into, right? You never know. But I'm not chasing meme coins. Not the new meme. It's, again, like I said, it's a needle in the haystack. You don't know which one is going to go up. So questions for the Magic 8 Ball. Will Elon Musk announce taking payments for Doge this cycle? That's a good question. Oh, I like the 8 Ball little emoji there. That's a good one. Should I sell BTC for Doge? That's a good question. Magic 8 Ball, show me my destiny. How far will Jasmine go this year? So Magic 8 Ball, the questions are more yes or no type questions, is what the Magic 8 Ball needs to have, is that kind of question. It's a yes or no question. And the Magic 8 Ball will answer yes or no questions. So I think we will do Monkey's question here. Is Elon Musk going to announce X payments accepting Dogecoin this cycle? Magic 8 Ball. Shake it up. Will Elon Musk announce X payments using Dogecoin this cycle? The answer is my sources say no. My sources say no, because you can't see that in the camera. That is not a positive answer from the Magic 8 Ball. But is the Magic 8 Ball ever wrong? But the Magic 8 Ball says my sources say no. Ooh. A lot of unhappy Dogecoin followers with that one. If that's a no, we're going to be crushed. Going to be crushed. You don't like the Magic 8 Ball? That 8 Ball is broken. Broken 8 Ball, yeah. Oh, well. We'll see. We will see. I've had this Magic 8 Ball for so many years. I don't remember where I bought it. I don't remember. Again, when I saw Roaring Kitty stream last Friday and he pulled out the Magic 8 Ball, I was like, oh yeah, I've got one of those. I was using it on my streams like 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago. I had Magic 8 Ball and was using it. I remember that. But I've had it for much longer. But anyway, that's the Magic 8 Ball. Not the answer we wanted. We'll see whether the Magic 8 Ball is right or not. We will see. You've got 1,000 mana tokens. Don't think it'll hit $5. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably one of them. Like Cardano isn't going to see $5 or whatever that price was as well. Not going to see it. So there was one other question up here I saw. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you swapped your render for Ondo. So you booked profits on render and you got onto the Ondo chain. That's probably not a bad move. Although render could still outperform Ondo from this point going forward. Who knows where render is going to go? But I mean, it's up so much from last year. And Ondo's a newer thing, but we'll see. I want everybody to win. I want everything to go up except XRP. That's the only one I don't want to go up. Because Brad Garlinghouse keeps saying bad things about Dogecoin. It's just like, shame. Shame on you. And the Doge gods will be unfriendly towards you if you say bad things about Dogecoin. We're done with the Magic 8 Ball questions. We only do one per stream, and the next one we'll do on Friday. So come back on Friday, and we will ask the Magic 8 Ball another question. It's from China. It only works on Jasmine. Well, Jasmine is Japanese. China and Japan don't really get along very well. There's a bad history between those two countries. Magic 8 Ball needs updates. I've always wondered how this actually works because it's amazing. There's a lot of answers inside this thing, and I've never quite figured it out. There's some kind of thick liquid in here, and these things like float around in the liquid. Bitcoin, the way I see it, it's like when credit cards, internet combine, people just don't understand it. Older people are scared. Yeah, what does it take to get into mainstream, right? The mainstream consciousness. Sometimes it just takes things a while, you know? Sometimes it just takes a while for things to get out there where they just become sort of secondhand nature in the way things are done. I mean, I think the use of like Venmo and Stripe after PayPal, that's becoming pretty commonplace, where 5 years ago, that was pretty rare. So, but it's the younger generation that's going to really make the change. I'm a little older, and I'm all into crypto, but that's just me. I'm small percentage of people my age that believe in crypto or even understand it. Celebrities were promoting crypto in 21. Well, yeah, and a bunch of celebrities got sued when FTX crashed. And the other celebrities are saying, yeah, I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of that. So they're staying away. I think we're still going to feel the effects of Luna and FTX for quite some time. And there was just some, I mean, the Terraform Labs just agreed that they would pay $4.5 billion to the SEC. And it's just like, where do they have that money? They've got a crap ton of Bitcoin and other cryptos still in wallets is what they've got. So paying the SEC $4.5 billion is nothing for them. And if that's all they have to do, and then they're scot-free after that, and as soon as Do Kwon finally gets out of jail or whatever, he's still going to be rich. Because they rip people off so bad. And it's the same for Sam Bankman-Fried and all the other FTX guys. Once they get out of jail, they're rich as anything because they had so much other crypto stashed away in wallets. That's it. That's it. What would Dogecoin's value be if it had the same amount of coins in 2021 with today's market cap? Well, we did the calculation for all-time highs, and if Dogecoin's all-time high market cap was reached in 2021 when Dogecoin hit 73 cents. And then we did the calculation a little bit ago, and based on today's supply of Dogecoin, Doge would only have to hit like 69 cents. I don't know if that's true today. Maybe it's 68, but something like that. So it's not too different, but it's enough where in order to reach its all-time high in market cap, as it had in 2021, it doesn't have to be 73 cents. It's something less than 70 now because there's 144 billion Dogecoins now versus like 120 something as there were back in 2021. So it's not too different, but somewhat different. What else going on? Doge recovering a bit, now up 6% for the day. Not bad. Yeah, Bitcoin, from this FOMC dump here that we had, Bitcoin's retracing back nice. Let's check on Jasmy, see where that is. Again, yeah, almost all cryptos have this same pattern here. In one way or another, all the same pattern. There's renders, same thing. Render is still up quite a bit though. Render has been doing great the past day and a half. I think we're going to see that with the AI related cryptos. I know Fetch and Ocean and IGX or AGX or whatever they're called, right? They're combining sometime in the next week or so. I think it might be end of next week. I'm not sure of the exact date that they're all going to become one AIX token. We'll see how that plays out. We'll see how that plays out. The dancing Doge. ATM. I'm new to this. How long does the bull run last? Welcome. You found the right place, keeping things real. There's a lot of other YouTube channels. Most of them are all pump, pump, pump. There's a few, though, that give out good information. But I'm glad you're here. So we look at the 4-year cycles. And these 4-year cycles is how Bitcoin has performed since 2012. And it's tied to essentially 3 sort of things that happen in the same kind of cycle. First is the Bitcoin halving. So we just had the Bitcoin halving here in April of 2024. The last Bitcoin halving was in 2020. The Bitcoin halving before that was 2016. And then we had the first Bitcoin halving, which was in 2012. And through these cycles, the all-time high of Bitcoin for that 4-year cycle always came the year after the halving. So Bitcoin halving in 2012, the all-time high for that cycle came in 2013. 2016 was the next Bitcoin halving. And then the all-time high for Bitcoin was hit in December of 2017. We had a Bitcoin halving in 2020. In 2021, there was actually a double top, one in February and then another in November. November, it hit 69,000. So it was always the year after the halving. That also coincides, the Bitcoin halvings coincide with the United States election cycle. So near the end of the year of the halving has always been a presidential election happening. In those years, we do see increase in liquidity. The increase in liquidity is so that the markets look good for the current administration, so nobody will vote against the current administration here in the United States based on the markets, because they essentially print more money and want the markets to look good in November. So we have liquidity in the markets with the elections and the Bitcoin halving that happens every 4 years. So that means, based on this cycle, we're projecting 2025 would be the next all-time high of some number that is anybody's guess how high Bitcoin's going to go. Is it going to go to 100,000? Is it going to go to 200,000? Is it going to go to 300,000? There are all kinds of predictions out there, but nobody really knows. There are so many different things that have happened with Bitcoin, like the ETFs now that we have, that could change the dynamics of how Bitcoin is traded in this cycle versus previous cycles. So yeah, that's what the cycles are. So you are coming in the year of the halving, if you're new to crypto, but we're not at the all-time highs yet. That's what most people think if we're following the previous cycles. There are some bears out there who have said Bitcoin already hit 73,000. It's already gone above its previous all-time high. And that was the top for this cycle. And we're going to see Bitcoin just trade sideways from here, and it's just going to drop. So there are some who are saying that. That's a small percentage. I think most are still on this 4-year cycle kind of approach, saying follow the liquidity, right? Presidential race, and continuing adoption and scarcity of Bitcoin for the trading of Bitcoin to go up higher this cycle. I believe that, and that's why I haven't sold any of my crypto this cycle yet. I'm waiting for that big run. So we'll see, but that's where this comes from. So if someone new to crypto coming in, you missed 2022. 2022 was a bad year. It just, everything dipped. And we had such bad news. We had the Luna crash. We had Celsius and Voyager going bankrupt. We had BlockFi going bankrupt. We had the FTX bankruptcy and crash. 2022 was a bad year for crypto. So you missed all that. However, at the end of 22, that was the time to be buying Bitcoin at 15,600 or 16,000. Solana at $9, you could have bought back then. That was the bottom of the bear. And a lot of people were buying there. They recognized that. Okay, time to start buying. 2023 ended up being a good year for Bitcoin. Bitcoin outperformed most altcoins. Most altcoins went kind of sideways in 2023 and are just now making runs. What we saw February, March, and then what's going to happen come the alt season that many are predicting to be this fall, like me. I think altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. We just have to get there. But that's what it's based on, are these 4-year cycles. I pull this chart out quite a bit during the live streams for education purposes, more than anything else. X payments will be crucial for Dogecoin. I think so too. And I don't think Elon's going to do like accepting Dogecoin for Tesla cars if it's not already part of X. I think he's going to tie that together somehow, which would be great for Doge, but we just have to wait for that to happen. We just have to wait. Why do they still call SHIB the Dogecoin killer? Because that's what it was created as. And so it still has that behind it. I mean, I think SHIB has totally transformed into something else, but it was originally made and marketed as the Dogecoin killer. So a lot of people remember that. All-time high year to 18 months from now? Could be. I don't understand how SBF is in jail and not on death row. I know. A tough situation, that's for sure. But the same thing happened with Luna as well. There were people who committed suicide because of Luna. That's pretty tough. Vision Pulse claims the bull run will be over between December 2024 and February 2025. Yeah, that's the there are others who have said this as well. They're calling it an accelerated cycle, where the ETFs for Bitcoin sort of spurred on the Bitcoin price to actually eclipse the 2021 all-time high before the Bitcoin halving, which will accelerate the whole bull cycle. We'll still get through this increased liquidity in the presidential elections. And then probably February 2025 could be the high of the cycle. That could be. That could be. The beauty of it is nobody knows for sure, and there's nothing guaranteed. We have no idea. So we let it play out. Hope we're in the right position at the right time. You're never going to get it right completely. You're never going to sell at the top. You're never going to buy at the bottom and sell at the top. That's virtually impossible. So Vision's analysis is excellent. Historical pattern points to it. But again, past performance, no guarantee of future results. Exactly. Waiting is a full-time job. You're welcome. How many did the Magic 8 Ball give you wrong answers? That's good. I just had to put that up there. I know you retracted your question, but I just had to put that up there. Osama's asking, can Doge reach 22 cents? I think so. And I think it'll go much higher than 22 cents. Not anytime soon, though. We have to wait. We have to wait. Right. Bitcoin mining rewards are cut in half every 4 years. So Bitcoin becomes more valuable because of its scarcity. And that'll continue happening every 4 years. Yep. Yeah, I don't think Pepe is going to pass Dogecoin in market cap. I don't think so. There's a lot of money in Pepe, that's for sure. But I don't see it passing Doge ever. Tom Lee says 150,000 Bitcoin. If so, Doge will be near $1. And I disagree with that, Damien, because of this. Bitcoin is at 68,000 now, right? To go to 150,000, that's about a 2.5x. 2.5x. Dogecoin is now at 14 cents. If you multiply that by 2.5, what do you get? You get about 35 cents. If Doge follows Bitcoin and maintains that same relationship, 150,000 Bitcoin is equal to 35-cent Dogecoin. Are you happy with 35-cent Dogecoin? I'm not. I don't think most of you are. But a lot of people on the Bitcoin side would be celebrating $150,000 of Bitcoin. Where us on the Doge side, we'll be disappointed. 35 cents, that's it. But that's what we're looking at. Dogecoin can get to $1, but it needs its own catalyst. It needs its own big news event, which we think is Elon using it in some form on X payments. And that's where we think all of this is leading to for Dogecoin. Without that, Doge is not going to $1, in my opinion. We're not going to see it. 35 cents could be it for this year. And maybe we don't hear anything from Elon about Doge and X payments until 2025. We have to be ready for that. And of course, Doge is the OG meme coin as well. And it's actually the only meme coin because all the others are tokens. They're not coins. Doge has its own blockchain. None of those others do. They're all tokens that sit on Ethereum or Solana. Doge is Doge. There isn't another meme coin. Those are all just tokens. And you're right, too many memes. Doge won't go over 50 cents. Again, it depends. Is it actually going to be used on X or not? Is it going to be used for Tesla or not? Without it, you might be right. And there is a lot of money flowing into these other meme tokens too. That is correct. That takes away from what we would normally see as Dogecoin investors. And there's even some like Bull Run who sold their Doge and bought Pepe and have made more money off that Pepe investment than Doge so far. So Bull Run's happy about that in that return. So, and there's a lot of people who have done a similar thing where Dogecoin was just going to wait and they can go make money somewhere else and then come back into Dogecoin later when something happens. And so there's the whiff and the bonk and, all these others. I think that does tend to take away from Dogecoin. Yes. There's so many. Every month, hundreds of thousands of new meme tokens are made because now it's just so easy. Crazy. But that's the world we live in right now. And people are going to keep gambling on those tokens. The ETFs are owned by old timers. They don't panic sell. They hold for years. And that is not true so far from what we're seeing, Joe. The news that's coming out is most of the ETF holders are actually institutions and they're trading. They're trading they're trading the ETFs like they're stocks. A big percentage of it is being traded. We have had more outflows than inflows for ARK and BlackRock on certain days. We've seen that. So yeah, there's a portion of people who have bought ETFs in accounts that are managed by BlackRock or Fidelity that are going to be long-term holders. Yeah, there are some, but there's a lot of others that are also trading those ETFs. So yeah. I know those X licenses have been so quiet. We haven't gotten one for over a month. The last one I heard of. They're at like 26 out of 50 right now. That is disappointing that it's not happening faster. The ETH ETF, I don't think is going to be as big of a deal as people are making it out to be personally. But we'll see. Elon has a plan. He's creating a new system for us to use. He's only mentioned his affinity towards Doge. Doge can become better than BTC. And Elon has already said that. He's already said Doge is better than Bitcoin for transactions. So he already believes that. I think there's a whole legal side of it that he needs to make sure that X payments can do. And he wants to make sure that the system is very user-friendly. He wants to limit the potential for scammers on the platform to steal people's money. So there's a lot that's going to go into this. I think he believes it can work, but it's going to take a lot of work to get it set up. I'm guessing he wants X payments to succeed, and he's going to start with fiat money. It's just going to be fiat money, but he has to deal with all the different countries around the world and how to exchange currencies. If he does that, if he was able to set it up with Dogecoin on day one, then the currency is Doge. It would be so much easier than dealing with all of these worldwide currencies and all the exchanges. If it's all Doge, it's just Doge, which he saw on the Tesla website when he was selling merch. He priced those things in Doge and he sold them in Doge. So that would be awesome. But I think there's a lot of engineering and testing that would need to go in to make sure that it all worked. And he's also limiting some usability because there's a lot of people who might not want to use that. And by using Dogecoin or any cryptocurrency as the main means of transacting, I think there's a lot of people that would be turned off by that. So kind of interesting, though. See how it plays out. Yep, patience is the key. That is true. Yeah, people won't support his decision. There's a lot of crypto people that hate Dogecoin, absolutely despise it. So dead man, I mean, we're in this kind of sideways now. I mean, we had the dump. We recovered this morning, nice recovery. FOMC bought the price back down this afternoon a bit, but we recovered from that. And now we're just kind of in this range, 14 to 15 cents. So that might be where we are for a while. We'll see. Would it have been wise to sell the last top and buy back in lower? Of course, but you don't know when the top was. Dogecoin's top was not Bitcoin's top. They were months apart. Nobody knew. And you don't know when it's happening that that's the top. Some sell too early, some sell too late, some never sell. So you don't know. Going back and looking at the charts in history, it's easy, right? Oh yeah, I could have sold there and then bought when it was much lower. But when it's happening live, like right now, you don't know where this is going. You don't know if it's going to go up or down from here. So that swing trade game is tough. But if you do it on a bigger scale in terms of the markets, and if my theory is correct, I'll be selling sometime in 2025, most of my cryptos. Hopefully somewhere near the top. I'm not going to get the top exact. And then we'll see if there's another bear market in 2026. The 4-year cycles will say there's going to be a bear in 2026. I'm not holding all my crypto through 2026. So crypto wax, hopefully. I get it right. I sell at the top and I buy back in at the bottom. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But that's the narrative I'm going on, and that's what I've been talking about for the past year on this channel, is exactly that. And that's why last summer we were buying all of that crypto, because I recognize that as the bottom of the bear market for most altcoins was last summer. And that's when we were buying all of these in this Kriss DCA portfolio here. That's why we got render at $1.45, right? And now it's $9. So we're up over 500% on render. And Jasmine, we're up 900%. Even the Bitcoin, we bought at 26,000. For last summer, that was a good price. Even though it was lower the November before at like 16,000. But I didn't start this until last summer. Bitcoin had already gone up a bit, but most of the alts were still at lows. Like Algorand, we were buying Algorand at 10 cents here. That was like almost as low as it got. And that's the price we got for Algorand. I think Algorand's going to go on a run probably this fall. And it's just, that's another really slow one. Just waiting and waiting. Bitcoin Cash, I don't follow, Joe. I just, it was the fork off Bitcoin, and I don't support BSV or BCH. Can you make money on them? Sure, you could do that, but I don't support them. All right, that's what we've got for today, guys. I'll be back again on Friday. We will have another story. We'll have another Magic 8-ball question. And we'll see where we go between here and there. Probably have a video tomorrow. Jupiter, yeah, I mean, you can use Jupiter to swap tokens, right? So he does a lot of that token stuff. Lark Davis does. So yeah, that's for him. I don't play those tokens, but I know he's into that, which is fine. All right, I hope everyone has a good evening. We got Celtics basketball tonight for those who are interested in the NBA. Big game number 3. So be watching that tonight. Go Celtics. And hey, everyone hang in there, right? Don't get flushed out. You know, don't get shaken out when these dips come. Be strong. I really think this is going higher, and we just got to hold it and wait. Buy more on the dips when you got some money. We'll get there. I really think that. So hope everyone's well. See you soon. Bye.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.